times stuff will come up, and plays that we practice, and it comes up the way we practice, and he executes like he does in practice. So I just think it's just a result of him preparing. You know what I mean? More of the plays of when stuff breaks down and him, getting to a second or third option, stuff like that. Those are the types of things that maybe take you back to, hey, this guy's comfortable. He's repped these plays so many times that he understands, what are the problems, and then what are the solutions I can get from him.
Are there any plays that stick out like that for you?
Right now, off the top of my head, I can't necessarily think of one. But yeah, nothing I can think of off the top of my
head. Sam Cosmi was looks like he maybe end up playing guard if Trey Turner can't go. Is that for you? Is it just we got to fill in the blank for right now in terms of somebody has to play, or is it like, hey, this is maybe something longer term where at least gives us a chance to see where maybe if he can play there?
I think as the season goes on, and you have some guys in and out of the lineup as on the offensive line, you want to get your best 5 guys out there. So, being able to move Sam around a little bit, having him in there at guard, having that be an option of something that we can do. If that gets our best 5 out there, that's something that we'll be able to do. But we just want to be able to have that option, so we can get him on the field because he's a good player. Obviously, him and Big Luke have been playing kind of splitting time. Both been playing pretty well, so if we can get them out there together, that'd be something that'd be positive for us.
And a different topic, just with Jahan. Obviously, great start, gets hurt. He's been a little quiet since he's come back relatively in terms of his numbers. What have you kind of seen from him from the adjustment, and how do you just think he is just this deep into his rookie year?
Jahan's been great. I think, at receiver, it's not all about production all the time. The guy can be winning on routes and the ball doesn't go his way. We're running the ball a lot more than we were earlier in the season, too. So everybody's opportunities are cut down. Terry's 8th in the league in receiving. So, when we do throw it, he's getting a large share of it. So I think, there's going to be games as we go down the stretch here where you're going to see more production from Jahan. I think a part of it is just kind of how the games have come up.
With the amount of running you're doing, the physical toll that takes, does that change how you practice down the stretch here in these late weeks?
I think you always make adjustments to your practice schedule. Obviously, that's Coach Rivera's decision. But, as the season goes on, it's a long year, so it's always going to be physical. Now, we've played a lot of very physical games, so, we're always mindful of making sure our guys are getting enough work, but then also taking care of them and knowing that they've built up a lot of reps, over the course of the entire year.
Another thing, when you run the ball a lot, the games are shorter. You guys wrapped it up, I think, 2 hours, 40 minutes the other day. Is that something you notice from the booth? Is that something you have to get comfortable with?
No, I don't. I mean, I guess I do after the game. You kind of see some of the other 1 o'clock games are still going on, or you get in the car and you go, you see what time it is when you finally get out of there. But I don't notice it. Last game was an extreme because they were running the ball also, But, yeah, it does. It does. The clock keeps running.
Antonio obviously dealing with the foot injury. If he's unable to go, do you think that's more on Brian, or do you envision using Curtis more out of the backfield, or what's kind of the plan with that?
Well, I think Antonio, we got a plan for him to get him ready. I think, as we go, he'll be all right. If he wasn't able to, it would be a group effort. I mean, obviously, Brian's got a pretty big, workload. Jonathan Williams. We have done Curtis in the backfield, and then we have some other options that we could work with as you go. But B-Rob's going to get what he gets. It'd be hard to give him much more.
When it comes to viewing Taylor, like, do you view some of the throws like the one to start the Houston game or the one that was almost picked off? Like, do you care about the turnover-worthy throws, or do you only care whether it's a turnover or not at the end of the day?
No, I mean, yeah, you don't want the ball to be in harm's way. The first throw in the Houston game, that wasn't a great decision, obviously. We coach the individual plays about, good decision, bad decision. It's different. Like, okay, you're giving a guy a shot, and I don't know. Like, I don't look at what PFF grades as a turnover-worthy play. Like, sometimes we're going to give our guy a shot, and maybe the DB got his hand on it at the end. Like, I don't know how they grade that. I wouldn't say that's a turnover-worthy play. But, we're coaching him based on how we see it, the decision-making process, and then based on how he does respond to that, that's how we respond to him.
What gave you more confidence to use more multiple tight end sets?
I think just a lot of it, is how you feel you're going to match up against the other team. These guys, we've had the tight ends, they've been hurt. Guys have been hurt. We've been in and out of the lineup. And then we've got some younger guys that, had been playing a little more. I think they've all kind of developed. Logan's back and healthy. John Bates, he's been pretty steady throughout the course of the year. Cole, is either Cole or Armani, but he's played more, he's his rookie year. And there's some stuff that we liked out of that grouping or those groupings. Gave us an advantage, gave us a little bit of help with the power run stuff. So we stuck with it.
More 12 and 13 is more matchup based than you think like a philosophical shift?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. It's matchup based. It fits B-Rob. It helps him and the other backs as well too. But like I said, every game's going to be different. Based on how we feel like we match up against their different personnel groups with our different personnel groups. We could be in different looks.
They're kind of along those lines. There have been a number of big plays where you really see the blocking of not just the tight ends, but a lot of the receivers too. Have you seen that kind of improve with your pass catchers?
Yeah, our guys take a lot of pride in that. Like they don't ever want to be the guy to look back on the tape and see that their guy's the guy that made the tackle. Our receiver coaches do a good job of holding those guys accountable as well, and they hold themselves accountable. But yeah, we've gotten a lot better as the year goes on, or just in general, just fighting to get a piece of a guy, and that helps spring. And even if it's for 5, 6, 7 more yards, those things add up and make a big difference.
And Jonathan Williams, I know he's been here in a few different stints, got some more snaps last week, but is he a guy that you rely on much, that you look at quite a bit, especially with some of the younger guys in the running backs room? Yeah,
I mean, he has a really good role for us. Obviously as the third guy, he came in, had 4 really nice carries. He runs really hard, creates a little spark that way. So, he's played well in other spots. He's the kind of guy that typical guy in the NFL is a backup type player that is just itching for an opportunity, and he's done a great job of when he's gotten that opportunity. And the physical nature of this game, and as the year goes on, I'm sure he's going to get more and more, and we feel really good about him when that happens.
Where have you seen the biggest difference with Brian in the last couple of weeks?
Just decisiveness, playing fast, not trying to be perfect, understanding, the speed of the game. And the more reps he gets, the more comfortable he's going to feel. And that's showing up, on tape.
Joey Slye was named Player of the Month today. What's it mean to you to have a kicker who's perfect in the month and reliable?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm happy, really happy for Joey. He's done an outstanding job. Obviously, the Philly game is one that stands out with the long kicks. But just knowing that, like, hey, you get to a certain yard mark, you're going to at least get points on the board. It helps, and not for me, but just for our team. And you want to score touchdowns, but those threes add up as well.
Knowing you guys want to be like a multifaceted offense, and I know you're having success with it, but was it hard to be stubborn with the run or to get to that mindset?
No, it wasn't. I mean, once, we started having success with it, it's not about like me or the numbers or anything like that. It's about trying to do what's best for our team to win. And for right now, like in the games that we've played, like that's what's happened. Now, there's going to be some times where it's not going to be that way, and other guys are going to have to step up, and that's what this league's about and offensive football is about. But, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Are you almost curious to see your offense in a game like that where maybe you like having the lead and running it 50 times, but like, can this group do it if we get down 10-0?
Yeah, no, I feel comfortable with that. I mean, we've done a nice job in some 2-minute drills. I mean, we came back in Indy, when we had to. We've had some other games earlier in the year. Obviously, it was a different setting, but the Jacksonville game, we can play different style of game. I think everybody, your win percentage in the league, for all the analytics guys out there, you play with a lead, you win more. So you always want to play with a lead, but we feel comfortable playing however we need to.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.